Okay, I'm here.
He
So he
he
doesn't, he
made
doesn't want you to go to Pilates.
so he made this whole big deal. Anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna go, and so he brought him. Oh, I think we're good parents, but I don't think we work anymore as a couple. And I said, you know what, you're right. So when can you draft the papers? I said, just give me a couple of weeks. And then at the end of the night, he backed down after he went over and he divided everything like, oh,
Because he's
split.
dependent on your half.
Yes.
Because he's
And so
dependent on your half. He doesn't, it's monetary now, honey. It's monetary, which is
and so he backed down, and I was like, but you know what? It helped me to realize that I was like, fuck it. Like, in other words, him doing what he did when he called it like that, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I don't know if he thought I was gonna back down, and I was like, oh no, please don't.
probably,
And then when he said it, it was like, oh my gosh, it took a weight off my shoulders because it was like, you know
it's,
what? I am so fucking ready for this. Like, this is
you're seeing it, but you're seeing what is reality. And
mhm.
that's what I kind of mean. We're like, you are the one that's in charge in these relationships. And these men, I don't know why these fucking men are like these pendejos. Um, but they think that they're in charge. They're not in charge. They're not in charge. He need like this husband that you have currently, he needs you. He needs you. And I feel like, okay, so you need to be careful whenever you're drafting divorce proceedings with him because I think it's gonna become about this real quick. And he's gonna try and be fucking sneaky. And he's gonna be like, oh, I need alimony and I need this because I can't support myself. And it's gonna be like he's gonna try and be a little fucker and be vindictive about it real quick because that was a reality check. Oh, I need her. I need this. Let's please, I love you, rainbows and sunshine. And I don't feel like this is how this guy feels. What he told you is how he feels. He was being straight up about it. Like, honestly, he was being straight.
You're saying be vindictive. So how do you think I should handle that really quickly? Because I want to go back to the other guy. How should I handle? Should I still keep moving everything as much as I can silently and then spring it up on him and be ready and have bags packed with my daughter, myself, and then leave?
Yes, that is what I said in the first reading, that you needed to have your shit together before you leave. We still need to follow that plan, but also, since you're good at drafting contracts and you do have like friends in law, you need
Right.
to make this separation in benefit of you.
Okay.
Whatever that looks like, I don't know like the specific legal terms for that, but it needs to be benefiting you.
I want to have primary custody, obviously, of my daughter. I want it to be where she's with me all the time and he gets the first, third, and fifth weekend of the month and Thursday to something like that, right? And then if there's something else we agree to, then great. But that's what I wanted to be on paper. I had initially thought, like, I'm not going to take anything of the house, but if he's going to fucking try to come after me for support alimony, then I'll be like, fuck you. Then I'm going to take what from the house and I'm gonna take like from your retirement, like if you're gonna try to do something like that to me, then I'm gonna fucking like turn it around on you.
Yes, be
So
prepared with looking up the laws for that. I don't know what the laws are in Texas, right? So where am I at? Like the laws here are like if you're married 10 to 7 years and the spouse makes less than the other spouse, it depends on the situation and what the judge says. Like sometimes some spouses are required to do like spousal support and I would be prepared with your knowledge on divorce law.
I'm gonna make sure I take care of that. I believe me.
I would really be prepared and have everything in writing. And if he tries to fight you with custody, you can come back with, do you know her doctor is? Are you up on her school schedule? Like you need to present the fact that you are the primary parent. You're the primary person. You're the one taking care of her. If he can't name like who her friends are, what her interests are, who the doctors are, who the coaches are, who the school is, school schedule, et cetera, the things that make you a primary parent, then that is all proof that like
right.
he doesn't get those
Plus,
things to be.
plus the fact is, I am an attorney, and I am in the courthouse, and they're all gonna be like all of the judges. Like I have good rapport with all of them, so that's gonna be from the get go. That's gonna give me
Mhm.
the yeah,
The upper advantage there. I think
right.
that's going to be um, really good for you. I think that's going to be good for you. Just make sure you're prepared. That's going to be the thing because he wants you to be distracted. And I feel like this guy is trying to like the husband that you're trying to leave is trying to like play on your feelings. So be prepared. Okay.
Okay.
Your best best asset for a clean break. That's
Do
what
you,
I would want for
do
you.
you feel, do you think, well, going back to Israel now, with all of this, I mean, what does he feel about that? How is he going to be? Where is he going to be at this moment? As I'm going through this, because I don't know. I was thinking, I'm not gonna let him know once I file. I'm not gonna tell him everything. I'm not gonna tell him anything. I'm just gonna file. Like, in fact, I got so upset at what he was telling me that I was like, fuck this, fuck you. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna talk to you for the next 2 fucking months. And then when it's my birthday, when it's around my birthday, and and I'm divorced or I'm about to get divorced, I'll be like, fuck this shit. I have a final hearing for the divorce, and this is what's going on, because I'm just like, dude, you're a fucking idiot.
So I think you already have a plan, and that's why that date was thrown out there so easily. I think I see him stand off into the side, like he's watching. Like I don't see him being supportive, being vocally supportive. He's watching what you're doing a lot.
Why? Why?
Because he wants to know that you're serious, and I don't know why. This is like a just like a pride thing. Like, is she really going to do it? It's because I feel like you guys have been talking about separating from your spouses for a long time. And he has, I don't think he's made any moves to do it. It feels like he's still in counseling, like he's still trying to work it out. But this motherfucker's going to be working it out to the end of the time. Jesus, he makes me exhausted just trying to like read his energy. So
Yeah. So is he right now in counseling and trying to work it out?
that's what it feels like. But I also feel like he's doing it almost like to save face. Like, does
Like
that make
what?
sense?
Like what?
To like say I did it. Like I did it. I did try to work it out. Because he doesn't want to, I feel like he doesn't want to be the bad guy in any situation. Like almost like he's being, it would be embarrassing for him to be talked bad about. Like he does not like for people to talk shit about him because that's embarrassing. Like he wants to be seen as the good
So
guy.
does it mean that, I mean, that's the thing. Like, will he leave his wife once I am out and about and free as a bird? Will he actually at that moment in time leave her and actually divorce her? Or is he always going to be like, oh, I'm afraid of what people are going to think?
So I, he's interesting. It feels like when somebody else moves in on you, that's whenever he's going to be like, oh, just kidding, I'm divorced. Like, look at me, look at me. And so, what's interesting is I see somebody come up behind you that has a really big smile, that's darker skin, that's real tall. He's a little bit younger than you, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got curly, really that kinky, curly hair. He almost looks Dominican,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, that is coming forward. That could be another potential guy, but I don't know if Israel, what's his name? Israel?
Israel.
Israel. I don't know if he's younger, but this other guy that comes forward that's like, hey, I like you. Um, oh, okay. Are you on any dating apps?
I'm not.
They're talking about a dating app. They're talking about a dating app, and I think you have like this potential to somebody else slides in like real smooth, real quick.
Right.
But he's younger. He's younger. This is a younger guy. Um, I see that as like a potential like thing. And then that's going to be kind of this is interesting. So it's almost going to be kind of like you're in this weird love triangle. And I think that's where 2025 is going to take you because I think you're going to get fucking tired of this pendejo over here. Like I want to yell at him. I want to like cuss him out. Um, and you're going to be like, well, I want some good.
Right.
And you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it. Don't worry.
Right. 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 Right.
And I think that's what this 2025, somebody's coming in and saying March is gonna look really interesting for you.
Wow.
I think
Anyway,
it's going to be swift. It's going to be a lot of change really, really quickly. Does this guy choose you? There is a potential for him to choose you, but there's also, I see another timeline coming in because you are doing so much work on yourself. You're almost like opening yourself up. Like, I am open to receive, the possibility of what I deserve because I'm worth it. I am worth it. And I think you're an attractor, you're a manifester. Like, I don't know if you're like 100% believing in that, but you are because you're really, um, oh, okay. You're really calling this other kid in, that you're wanting. And I think you want that a little bit more than we want the man, like you said, because you can have a baby anywhere, but I do hear like crying and baby like ready to come into the other side for you. That's almost a stronger possibility than this guy. And I
with
think it's gonna happen next year.
it's just that, like, I mean, my thing is, I mean, I do want it to be with Israel, but I cannot be uh waiting until for the fucking forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and that's why
So I
yeah,
get
I have a biological time clock. So it's like, dude, like, either you're gonna want this or you're not gonna want this. And if your excuse is you're afraid of all this bullshit and all this shit or whatever, then it's like, fuck, like, I'll give you all the fucking assurances you want. And then that's it. Like, and then it's like, let's get this show on the road. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm at, because I do want that baby. I want the baby more than I want, you're right, more than I want him or any guy, right? Because I mean, it's him and then the other guy, right? Like the other guys, right? But I want that baby more than I want that.
hmm
And I would love it to be with him because of what I know what he is to me. But dude, I'm not gonna be fucking waiting for you until you fucking like, oh yeah, I should. Like, yeah, no.
I think it's gonna resolve. I think it's gonna resolve by January 15th. And this is why I think this. Because I'm telling you, woo, getting medium chills. Your 2025 is going to be very electrifying, and it's going to feel like you are going to be hit back to back to back with these multiple changes. It's going to be, because I told you this dude was going to be very bumpy, like the process to him was going to be very, very bumpy. But I'm seeing another timeline come in where you are going to have back to back changes in your career, good ones, where the two jobs kind of intertwine. And I hear people talking about you as a notary. And I think that's going to be very important for you to do because I see you stacking cash that real easy way. Like, it's almost like it's just going to come to you, come to you, come to you, come to you. I see you advertise in neighborhood Facebook groups. Like, I see you going like, hey, I'm a new notary. I have my background in law. I have this, I have that. Like, I can
Right,
help you because people need that shit
right.
all the time. Um, so as far as like where we see the rest of the year going, I pulled three oracle cards for you, and the first one I pulled was snip snip. So I'm sorry. I think you kind of get like kind of what that means. You're going to be snipping men from your life. I almost see it like you're pruning a tree. Like, this is not good for me. This is not good for me, but I'm going to get this one to come to me. You're very like siren-esque. Like, you can kind of pull whatever you want to pull. And if you want to stay around and wait for this guy, that's fine, but he's gonna need like a fucking personality lift. He is gonna need some drastic change and really like prioritizing you. And you
How
are gonna have to be the one to spearhead that.
how am I gonna do that though? How am I once I'm actually single, I'm gonna be able to do that? Am I gonna be able to get across to him? Like, that's my thing. Like, are we're gonna continue to communicate the way we've been communicating, but then once I'm actually single, what do I do then? What should be my approach then? How should I approach it? Because it's like, dude, like, you're fucking like terco, you're digging your heel, like overly done. Like, it's like too fucking much, man. Like,
I know it is. So I think you're gonna have to be extremely direct and put yourself out there, and you're really gonna have to, because he's dumb. I don't mean to say it like that, but that's the message that they're like, this guy is slow.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think you have seen that a little bit. Like he is slow. You need to, it's gonna happen. Like I see the words like fiery climax is gonna happen. Like you are just gonna be like, this is what I need from you, and this is by the time I need it because I held up my end of the bargain. I held it up. And if you can't do that, I'm not going to wait around. I'm going to give you like 3 weeks, 6 months, whatever timeline you want to throw out to him if you're choosing to wait. And if he doesn't do it, I am telling you with my whole soul and butthole, you
Mhm.
have the great potential to find somebody else and to get whatever you want. I think who comes into your life is going to be younger. Yeah,
Even though Israel would tell me, well, I never made a bargain with you to say that I was going to leave my wife, which he, right, he didn't, but
gaslighting you though, because he led you on in other ways.
right, right.
Led you on in other ways. And I'm telling you, that's another way in which he is like possessive over you. I didn't tell you that, but I also like want you to keep talking to me. I want you to keep giving me attention. And that seems like a pattern that you're also discovering in your communications with him. And also, I would be like, hey, I need you to amp up our, communications. Like, I want to switch to text. If you're really serious about me, I want to switch to text. I don't want to do email anymore. I want to, have lunch with you or whatever. But that's going to be up to you. Like, sometimes forcing a timeline is you just being very, very direct, and everybody has free will. And he can completely back off and be like, no, and that is the reason why he would do that, I think, is because he's scared a little bit. Um, however, I really see you being very, very successful. Um, later on this upcoming 20, I want to say this year, but this year's almost done,
Yeah.
is 2025. Um, I'm trying to see how many kids you actually do end up with because I hear twins or so close together like Irish twins. Um, I don't know if this guy is going to end up being the dad though of the twins. Like, but I see you have them back to back. Do you do any like love spell candles, like love, bring love into my life, things like that?
I don't.
Um, you can, so okay, if you choose, because I'm trying to give you like different timelines that I see and like tangible actions that you can take to kind of bring those forward if that's what you choose. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, because I'm seeing in multiple ways as things start to work out and pave a way for you, seeing multiple ways that you can do this. I kind of see you like getting on these dating apps and finding this guy that I'm talking to you about. But before we do that, I see you light a red candle and you're like talking to it and saying, I want this. I want somebody with these qualities. And that can be the qualities of, the cop guy that you're wanting to bring in.
Right.
But I see you kind of doing that and like people just starting to come to you. And I think that's where you need to go to like kind of force it. And you can do that. Um, that is going to be up to you. People do those candles a lot of different ways. Some people sounds nasty, but they put bodily fluids in the candles. Some
Oh
people
yeah.
do,
Right,
I
right.
know. Some people do like oils and herbs. Like it really just depends. Or some people just do like really intense prayer.
Yeah.
But whenever you get to that point, you can try like a 7-day candle and just start talking to it. Sometimes whenever I do them, I line people's pictures up
So
around.
let me tell you something. I don't, honestly, I just pray a lot about him.
Hmm.
I pray a lot about him. That's all I do. And I ask God to give him that courage that he lacks and to give him that strength that he needs
Hmm.
emotionally and physically, right? Because obviously I am stronger, but that doesn't surprise me, right? So I ask a lot for that, to give him that and to give him courage and to give him that wisdom, and to give him that strength physically, emotionally, and mentally. And to believe me, right? To believe me when I tell him what I tell him, to believe me, to know that my words are true and not have doubts about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I did have one guy tell me when you were talking about, I don't know what other house, and I was very upset about this. One man tell me, and I was like, you're fucking, like, I'm not gonna, like, fuck this shit. He told me, and I saw him in person, and I was like, oh my God. And one of those times where I was feeling low, and he told me, oh yeah, I already checked them out. I already checked them. He's never gonna leave his wife ever. He's never gonna leave her. And he's always had a lot of, done this before with a lot of other women. And I'm like, okay, that's not true. I can feel that much. I know that much. And I'm like, I know he's sincere in what he says because he doesn't say much, but he says a little. And I'm like, dude, and you can't fucking know that either. Like, you can't. And he's like, no, you need to focus on something else. Like it was so much so that I felt like it was like, because initially when I first met this man, he told me, well, he's so ugly. You should, like, if he's that ugly, you should look at me instead of looking at him. And I thought that's very, very much like you're trying to move in on me. Like you're trying to pull a move on me, like you don't want me to end up with him, like you don't think he deserves me because of what I bring to the table physically and otherwise. And you're saying, oh well, if you're looking at somebody that looks that ugly or whatever, I look better than he does, you should look at me instead, because he pretty much said that.
That's disgusting, and that's completely unethical as a tarot reader and psychic medium. I disagree with that. I'm sorry you had that experience. I don't really think this guy has done this before. Like I don't think I really said that in my last reading either. I think he just does feel this connection with you. He's just really slow to leave this woman, slower than I thought he was gonna be. Jesus Christ. But it hasn't been the full 6 months yet. So, and I think it's just really gonna resolve after your birthday in January. I think that's where this is gonna come to, like, almost to a head. Kind of like whenever you have a pimple and it comes to the surface and you're about to pop it, I think that's what's gonna happen, and it's just I see, like, kind of a confrontation and that it is gonna be a little angry, not him angry, mostly you just angry because you are just so, like, you've been sitting here being so patient for so long that it's gonna come out angry. It may not feel angry to you, it feels
So
passionate.
how is he gonna react when because I mean, if I can see myself, I can see that conversation coming around my birthday, totally.
Mhm.
And it's not gonna be, and I can see it not being pretty, but I mean, is he gonna reach out to me on my birthday? Is he gonna approach me around that time? Because he knows when my birthday is. So, or how is that gonna play out? Because you said he's gonna stop me, like something like where he's gonna pull me over.
Yeah, I think you guys are gonna have, like, it feels like you guys have sporadic, conversations, but it's kind of like because you guys live close together, it feels like kind of like a chance, like just a chance meeting. He's gonna see you and then he's gonna pull you over. And that sounds so bullshitty to say, but that's what it kind of feels like. Like he sees
It's not gonna be me pulling him over.
no. I would advise for legal reasons to not do that.
Right.
To not do that. Um but I do think it's gonna resolve one way
It's
or
because I think it's kind of ballsy. If he's gonna do that, pulling me over, I feel like it would be ballsy on his part to do that when he hasn't been ballsy. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Because I think you're just gonna continue. So what's gonna happen after you leave this reading is what I see is you kind of continue to like talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. And what I see is that you send him a message, and you're like, I need to talk in person. And it's almost like he sees you as he reads his message and he's like, oh, there she is. And then he like pulls you over. Cause like I said, it feels like you were stressed and that you were like, it's almost like I see you run a stop sign or some weird, stupid shit that you wouldn't normally do. But it feels like we're very clouded up here and we're distracted. And you're like, oh shit. And you just pull off to the side and you're not watching as this is happening.
Mm.
Does this make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. So Lexi, I mean, I'm very just, I don't wanna, I don't wanna give up on him. I wanna hold on to what he is for me. And I know what he is, and I have a lot of guys already hitting on me right now, and some that I'm like, I know that as soon as I'm divorced, they're gonna be like,
I told
when do
you,
we hook up
knock
and
on
when
that
do we,
door.
and I'll have all the babies you want, and I'm strong and I'm like this, and I'm just like, dude, like, okay, uh but I know that my heart feels like it's like he there like it's at home with Israel. And I for the time that I've been married and the years that I want to live the rest of my life. I want to have that again. I want to have that feeling that I had back in Tunisia, right? Like I want our souls to be together, and I want it to be in this lifetime. And I have asked God to help me with that because I want to feel that coming home feeling. And
Yeah.
I know that he feels that. Like that's the thing. Like I know that he feels that, but I'm like, dude, why are you so against like wanting to hold on and grab on unless he's already grabbing on because of what he's already intentionally doing and he knows that I'm going to be there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it feels like, I mean, I can tell you like what I see from the past, and what I see is that you have always held on to the bargain of like finding this dude, and he has just not always been reliable. Um,
Right.
and I think that plays very comparison to like how his personality is. It's like he's just not always reached back out. I think he's gonna try, and it's almost gonna be a too little too late situation. That's kind of what it feels like. And from there on, the ball is going to be kind of like back in your court about whether or not how you feel as a person, how you feel as if you feel like you are secure in his word, because you don't want to leave the potential of something good for him to be like, oh, just kidding, I've decided I'm not going to leave her.
Right.
And
Right.
I feel like that is kind of his playbook, because again, this just feels kind of almost possessive. Like your energetic cord feels very pure, and his unfortunately just like doesn't. And that is just, and not that that can't get better, that is just what I'm seeing. I think he's always been like kind of possessive of you, and I think you just kind of like loved him to a fault. And that is good and bad. And I can't, tell you to leave. That is unethical. I don't do that to people. I tell people what I see. And that is what I see. And you have to decide whenever you are choosing a partner, if like it doesn't matter if you've had a million lifetimes with them. It doesn't. What matters is how they treat you. You could feel at home all in the world, in the womb, whatever. And if they're not willing to grow with you and, put you first, then you're just going to be kind of like stuck here, but also like with them. If you want to feel supported, that's the thing. You want to feel supportive, and it's not that he won't ever choose you. I definitely do see a timeline where he does choose you, but at the end of that timeline, I also see where you have other options. And I think you see that too. I think you're kind of there. You were there before I was there. um,
Yeah. So he does choose me in a timeline you see, but then what, you don't think he's gonna be like what I need or what I want, like supportive? He's not gonna be supportive of me.
yeah, like remember whenever I said like you're always gonna have these little like fucking little like you're perfect except for this one fucking thing, and I think it's gonna be like that, like this emotional support, like this very slowness to display affection, slowness to like hold hands, slowness to do things. Like that's just what it feels like. And that's so very frustrating. And I think that's just part of his fucking personality. And it's annoying to me. Um
Yeah.
so that's just kind of what I see. Um, I think there is a timeline where he chooses you, but it's just
Will he, can he change, can he change after choosing me and being with me? Because obviously I know where he's coming from and I understand the all the hesitancy and the unwilling to be that open and all that, and especially the relationship that he's had with that wife. Can he become with me nurturing that, more open, more, more secure, and that security bringing, being able to give him that confidence in himself and displaying emotions?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's how he is. That is his personality. Like he's slow to hold hands. He's not really gonna make the first move in the bedroom. Like the man just feels fucking slow. And I think you are always going to be the initiator in that relationship. And to be honest, I feel like his wife is kind of the initiator. Like if you were to really point blank ask him, did you pick up her or did she pick up you? I think the wife picked up him, and he was like, "Oh, somebody's paying attention to me.
Mm.
Okay," and he just went for the gold with that. Um, I think deep down, like he is just kind of a slow mover. And you just have to decide like if that is what you want. Uh,
Uh, yeah.
and like, yeah, like there's security in that. There's like safety in that. And I think that can be very beautiful. But for people that are like on a timeline and have shit to do, that's also can be very, very frustrating. They're talking about like, is he like that at work? No, I think he's not like that at work. I think he's very like, take charge and I'm gonna do what I need to get done. But then
Right.
that hat comes off,
Right.
that's it. That's like all of
Right.
his emotional
Right.
capacity.
Right. And that's what I don't get. I'm like, I know that at work he's not like that. So why is he
Mhm.
on the personal level? Why is he like that? You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the thing for me. It's confusing in that sense.
Yeah, because some people really just don't have the emotional bandwidth to do any more than they are capable of doing at work. Like they just cannot. And that's okay. And that's going to be a part of like meeting him where he is. And, you know, you have to kind of like, I hate to say it like this, but you have to sacrifice that part of yourself to have this guy. And then only you can decide like, is that
Sacrifice sacrifice which part, Lexi, of myself to have this?
like your how do I say this? Like your need to want things done. Like I need this done. I need you to show up this way. I need, hand holding. I want you to initiate like the sexy time. Like I
Right.
feel like that's always going to be the emotional burden here. And you have to decide like, are you willing to accept that? Or are you like, nah, man, I need you to stand on business. Just like you're standing on business over there at that job, you need to come home and be the man. And it doesn't look like he is like that at the house. If he were to be like that, that would surprise the hell out of me. And I'd be asking you, does he drink?
He does he does drink he does drink at home.
I think that would be a little bit of a different scenario, but then you go to a very slippery slope of, is that his whole personality at home? And what's interesting is that your next couple cards, before we wrap it up, we've got about 5 more minutes left, is drink water. So drink water. And I feel like that comes in and is talking about you mostly like taking care of yourself, your physical body, your physical needs. And I know you're on that health journey. Um, so I want you to continue that because you look really good. You feel really good, even though you
Yes.
feel really like fucking stressed,
Right.
really good. And that's where we need to focus on. If we're also trying to like manifest babies, our physical body needs to be tip top, motherfucking like ready to go shape.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Because I don't see you just having one baby, honey. I see you having two. You're gonna be two and done.
Yeah. Two
But
and done is, yeah.
because you're gonna have three altogether after that. But I see you having two, either twins or like Irish twins, like back to back babies. I don't
Right.
see just one. I see a few, so I hope you're better.
Mhm.
And the next in your final card is breaking news, not normal. And that's a very interesting card because it tells you to listen to your intuition and what you feel is normal, what you feel is not normal. Like, obviously, you knew that guy whenever you were in the other reading, like, he was trying to fuck around on you, right?
Yeah.
And that is going to be a call to action to continuously listen to those gut feelings. And I think you're going to be able to leverage that into 2025. And they're looping it back around to your job and like starting this business. Use that intuition and those gifts whenever you go in to get ready to like do clients or come in for prosecutions or whatever. You need to start asking, just like you're asking things for this job, for this man, not the job, for the man. We need to be like, hey, I need clients that are receptive to my messages, and I need clients that are ready for my help, that want to accept my business card and want to book
Right.
with me or whatever you're doing.
Right.
So keep listening to your intuition because it's not wrong, honey. It's not wrong. You've been right on like everything. You are going to be successful and you're going on a good path.
I need Israel.
You need him. I get it. You do. And I know you want that. And that is, you can keep going with that. And that's
I
fine.
mean, I'll be the strong one. It's not a big deal. I've been the strong one in this marriage forever and ever, and it's okay. I'm used to it. I just want to be loved and taken care of and protected and feel that. And
Yeah.
I do want that man. I do want that man. Like when I first called him forth, this
Yeah.
is funny, girl. I called forth a man to the universe unconsciously because I didn't voice it. That was a trooper. Watch this, a state trooper that would romantically look at how crazy this is, right? Romantically stop me on the side of the road and like say, I am here and I'm there for you and I am all this and I'm ready. Are you ready? So this is how, and then I met him, right? So yes. And so that's my thing. Like I can be all that for him and more. And he knows that. Like he knows I'm competent. I'm competent, more than competent, uh, to take on any kind of, battle health wise that he has or not. But I need him to show me, to me, not anybody else, to show me that I am his priority, right? That he loves me and that he will fight for me and that he will protect me. That's what I need him to be for me. I
Yeah.
don't care about anybody else. And I don't care that he shows it to anybody else, but I want him to be that. And I have the belief that he will do that, but I'm just like, dude, you're taking fucking forever, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up in 1 minute. So everything you just said, whenever I give you the playback and you start being like, I need you to like be really, really serious or just get the fuck away from me, these are the words I want you to say to him. Okay. You're gonna go back and you're gonna listen to this recording, and these are the words I need you to say to him whenever you are in the mode of confrontation. I don't think we're there yet emotionally, mentally. We're not ready to have that talk with him face to face, but I think it's going to happen because you just confirmed my vision, what I saw him doing for you. Like you called that in, and I think it is coming in. How that plays out is going to ultimately be the two of you. And remember, he has free will in all this. He really does. Um, I do see you being successful. I do. I do. You have to decide like if he's going to be worth it. And if he's worth it, then there is a potential for it to work out. Um, I don't see him if you guys are getting together. I don't know if does he have kids? Because
no.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can have them. I don't think he can have them. I don't know if he knows this about himself, but I don't see him as the father of your children. If you are with him, I see you getting like the stuff from from somewhere else. Not gonna
Interesting.
being upfront about that. But I see you have these kids back to back. I think you guys would be happy with those kids, but I don't see him genetically having any children with you. With that other guy, with that other timeline of that young guy, he's gonna be all about you.
Right.
Gonna be all about you in a good way. With this other guy, he just feels really quiet, and you have to decide on if that's gonna be good for you